I can now share that the Fire Investigation Unit has made 4 arrests in connection to the Daniel Carter Beard Bridge fire on November 1st. As we announced yesterday, Caton Hall, 23, was arrested on 2 felony counts for obstruction of justice. The additional arrests include James Hamilton, 26, who is charged with 2 felony counts of obstruction of justice. Terry Stiles, 39, and Zachary Allen Stumpf, 23, have both been charged with 1 count of aggravated arson. Yesterday morning, just before 11:30, fire investigation units and Cincinnati police arrived to execute a warrant for Caitlin Hall at 204 Erkenbrecher Avenue in Arlington Heights. She was taken into custody without any incident within approximately 10 minutes. While on the scene, and with the help of a drone, it was discovered Stiles and Stumpf were hiding in the attic and refusing to come out. After several hours of standoff, the Hamilton County Police Association SWAT was called in to help, but both Stiles and Stumpf surrendered before SWAT had to be deployed. That happened around 2 p.m. and approximately 2:30, Hamilton was also taken into custody. Stiles and Stumpf are each being held on $1 million bond. Hall and Hamilton are each being held on $60,000 cash bond. Using the large amount of video footage that was available, phone records, license plate readers, and interviews, our investigators were able to gather critical information to identify the suspects. Because this investigation is still ongoing, some sensitive details cannot be shared, including the specifics surrounding how the fire started. If anyone who was driving across the bridge at the time of this incident has any additional information that can help out our investigators, please call Crime Stoppers at 513-352-3040. Now I will turn things over to the City Manager, Cheryl Long. Sorry.
Thank you, Chief. As City Manager, I am so proud of our Cincinnati Fire Department and so impressed by the work of the Fire Investigative Unit. As all of you know, the intensity of this fire was nothing we've ever seen before. We're talking about 40-foot flames, temperatures that reach thousands of degrees, and the complete destruction of the area under the bridge. None of us can look at the scene like that and even begin to understand what happened. But the experts in CFD are the best in the business, and I am so thankful to them for their hard work in identifying and arresting the perpetrators. Like all Cincinnatians, I am shocked and saddened that this fire was started intentionally. But because we allowed the investigators to do their jobs and avoid the temptation to rush to conclusions or potentially compromise the work of the department, we are now at a point where justice can be served. I want to thank all the hardworking men and women of the fire department for their heroic public service, as well as Chief McKinley for his leadership. Additionally, we had incredible support from public safety partners both in the city and county. CPD's Fugitive Apprehension Unit, the Reading Police Department, and Hamilton County Police Association SWAT team were indispensable in making these arrests. Finally, I would like to address the frustration and inconvenience that we are all dealing with as a result of the bridge being shut down. While it is a relief to know the cause of the fire, we are still feeling the effects on a daily basis. I feel that frustration too. My administration, particularly DOT and the police department, is closely monitoring the effects of the bridge closure, adjusting the timing of traffic lights, and working with our state transportation partners to address those concerns as best as we can. We want to make sure we are working together to alleviate the stress as much as possible and remind everyone to please plan extra time when you're passing through downtown. And now we'll turn things over to Mayor Aftab Purebaugh.
Thank you, City Manager Long. Thank you so much to Chief McKinley and his incredible staff at the fire department, particularly the fire investigators, who since this fire happened and the ensuing negative impacts on our entire community have been working tirelessly, day and night, thousands of hours devoted to pursuing justice. And justice is exactly what we have today. CFD today has shown us that they are not just the first in the nation, they are the very best in the nation. And it is a prideful moment for all of us to know that these public servants are working day and night to keep us safe. I will say, though, that this is just the beginning of justice being served. Now that we have these perpetrators in custody, now that we have them charged, it is incumbent upon the justice system and the prosecutors to do everything that they can to hold them accountable. I cannot overstate the severity of this crime, not just the public safety crisis that it created on the night of the blaze, affecting the people on and around the bridge, not just the millions of dollars that will be needed from taxpayers to repair the bridge, but also the daily frustration and disruption of millions of tri-state residents' lives because of this brazen crime. These four thought nothing of the community around them, and they must be held accountable. And it is my hope that they get the strongest penalty possible to make sure that justice is served and something like this never happens again. Thank you all so much, and thank you again to Chief McKinley and his entire staff. Now we'll take your questions.
Chief McKinley, can you say whether you are still seeking other suspects?
At this point, we aren't, but we won't rule anything out as any investigation as things unfold. We want to make sure that we're diligent in the process. And so as the investigation continues to advance, we won't rule anything out.
Do you have any idea of what the motive might have been for starting the fire?
That's going to be a part of the investigation. When we look at crimes such as arson, it's involved a lot with intent, and so that's one of the things that we're seeking to understand. And so as the investigation continues, we hope that that unfolds.
Chief, what led you to these individuals? How was it a Crime Stoppers tip? Did somebody call?
Well, again, I want to credit the Fire Investigation Unit. They incorporated a very robust method to process all of this. They used a lot of video, they used a lot of phone records, they used license plate readers and things of that nature. And so they had to synthesize a lot of information and process it, and that's what actually led us to our first arrest. And so things kind of went from there.
All right, so if you're just joining us for News 5 at 5 o'clock, you've been listening to city officials talk about the 4 arrests that have been made in connection to that fire on the Big Mac Bridge that has caused major traffic delays and backups because of the closure of the southbound lane.